Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Yeah, we're doing another Campfire stories with Mike Burnfire, and I apologize if I cough or if I sound a little off today. I'm very sick, not very, but I'm sick. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this if I was very sick, but I think it's like a head cold or something. I'm all stuffed up and my throat's sore and I'm coughing, and my voice is sounding very Uh, very, so yeah, I apologize if, anyway, this is a video I haven't done, so it's losing my religion. I'm not gonna get into religion, really. It's not what this channel's for. You know, uh, yeah, well, there you go. But I was an edgy boy atheist when I was growing up as a teenager. Not so much anymore. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and like it. I like it. And let's go ahead and watch it.
You know what they do when the Pope dies?
Smoke.
What do they do when the Pope
no.
dies?
Oh my God, you're gonna love this. So when the Pope dies, there is an actual procedure. If he dies at the Vatican, what they do is they go up to him with a little tiny gold hammer, tap him on the forehead with a hammer. Michael, Michael. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's totally dead.
3 taps and you're on. It's like baseball.
I hit him in the head 3 times with a tiny golden mallet. I don't know what to tell you. He's dead.
Well, that second one was a foul ball.
What if the guy that's hitting him is like, just like really wants to be the next Pope? So they're like, Michael! And he's like, ah, stop it, I'm still alive. No, he's dead. He's dead. Put this pillow over his face.
Get the hammer and he actually grabs like a claw hammer.
Yeah, wrong side of the claw hammer.
Yeah, I got it. It's a roofing mallet.
I hit him in the head 3 times and he didn't wake up. Blood is dripping, brain matter on the hammer.
You know, considering the Catholic Church's history, I'm sure that happened at one point.
Maybe, I don't know. It's possible.
You and I come from similar backgrounds, right?
No.
Protestant family and an extended family.
Protestants.
I went to a Christian Reformed church, and after that I went to a Sunday school and a catechism, and I went to Christian youth groups and Christian cadets, and we went to private Christian schools. I've done that my entire life.
We went to church a lot growing up, like up until like I was the age of like 9 or 10. But after that, not so much any church. Protestant, I believe. Yeah, I just remember it was a lot of fun as a kid. That's all. That was back then. Who knows?
I don't know if you've ever been to a public elementary school or anything.
Yeah, I went to public school all the way through junior high school.
So you're not as indoctrinated as I was into the Christian lifestyle, but you were still pretty deep in there, right?
Yeah, I would say still pretty deep in there.
And today here we are, neither of us Christians, right?
Not really, no.
Can you think
I'm
of
still a
anything
Christian,
that caused you to start questioning or to outright lose your belief?
I got kicked out of Bible study class, or like one of the Bible study classes in high school.
I don't remember that.
Because I got in an argument with a teacher over whether or not Christianity was a monotheistic religion.
It's supposed to be a monotheistic religion, but you're also asked to worship 3 gods. The 3 gods are themselves. That's actually a decent question to ask, because it's kind of confusing.
Well, Christianity is a
Well, that's more Catholicism. If you're talking about the God, Jesus, or was it Mother Mary and the Holy Spirit? That's more of a Catholicism thing. I don't know. I don't want to get into a Christian
is it polytheistic
theologic
religion then? Because we were talking about other religious types, and they had brought up the thing of polytheism. And I said, well, Christianity is a polytheistic religion then. I know it says it's monotheistic, but it has to be polytheistic because you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh, the Father and the Son, the Holy Spirit. Which is like the
biggest tenets of Christianity. Mm-hmm. The response was, well, no, it's not. It's a monotheistic religion because there's just one God.
So that's the incident you think of, at least one of the incidents.
That is one of the incidents where I was like...
Yeah, I could chalk that up to them being edgy boys.
It's not like I'm saying God doesn't exist. I'm just saying...
I mean, why would you even be in the Bible study?
Cannot be a monotheistic religion if there's 3 separate entities.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking back to how I developed a loss of my religion as well, and I had a similar story when I thought back to one of my Sunday school teachings, and I got in an argument with my Sunday school teacher about what it would require to be saved. She said, only belief in Jesus gets me into heaven. And I said, what about before Jesus? Before Jesus, if you had simply a belief in God, you would get into heaven.
That's
And
not
I said,
exactly.
So why isn't that good enough now?
And I said, at what point did...
That's not exactly true. It doesn't sound like a very good teacher. Sound like somebody just going through the motions. There's more to it than that. I'm not. It's like I said, I don't want to get into it.
believing in God not become good enough?
It's a good
Take,
conversation.
for example, two twins.
We're having
They live the exact
conversations.
same life. One dies one day after the other. They've lived the exact same life, but one of them goes to hell and one of them goes to heaven. Anyway, I'm not soliciting criticisms of Christianity. I was specifically asking
yeah.
about your personal journey, though.
Anytime I brought up challenging viewpoints as to whether or not it was a monotheistic religion, the response was not to engage me in a discussion about it. The response was to go, no, you are wrong.
Well,
Get out
yes,
of my classroom.
that's their job.
Are there any other incidents that immediately come to your mind?
That's their job.
I think it's a lot of tiny incidents, and I'm not sure if I can bring up specific examples. Well, actually, I can bring up one specific example where when I was at Fort Polk in Louisiana and Hurricane Katrina was approaching, and the hurricane fucked up New Orleans shit, as it should have.
That's true.
Ouch! Burn on those guys.
Hot takes.
Take that.
And then instead of actually really doing anything, the response was basically, well, just pray for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all you
When
can
has
really
that
do.
done anything?
So you can remember...
Okay. That's what pisses me. Like, I have respect for quite a few atheists, like a Christopher Hitchens or maybe a Stephen Fry, people like that. Yeah, but it's just like, no, now you're being just a jerk. It's like some people pray because it makes them feel better, and it makes other people feel better. That's all it is. There's no logical sense to it. It's just what people do to make people feel better, and you should be trying to make people feel better. That's like, well, what's that gonna do? It's like, I don't know. You go do something then. I hate that about when people say that kind of stuff, where they want other people to do things for them. Where it's like, well, praying's not gonna help. It's like, well, what are you doing? Nothing. It's like, go do something about it. I don't know. Go grab a hammer. Go down there and help. Stuff like that.
Remember lots of tiny incidents that
I
frustrate
burned
you.
my finger. And
It's just weird because, like, I think
I'm
back
sick.
on my
I burned my
life, I don't
finger.
think of
Ugh.
anything like exceptional that made me. I'm an atheist at this point.
I can remember small incidents myself. I can distinctly remember a couple of times where my parents disagreed with the church, and I picked up on that. Specifically, I remember one time I came home from my private Christian school, and my mother said, "What did you learn in school today?" And I said, "Today we learned there's no such thing as luck, because it's only through the grace of God that all things are done. So we should never say anyone's lucky, we should say they're fortunate." And I remember my mother looking at me. She rolled her eyes and said something to the effect of, "I can't believe we're paying all this fucking money for a private tuition." And this is what you're learning.
Yeah. Well,
Another incident
school is
similar to
really
that
stupid.
was, I remember
I
was
agree.
watching TV with my dad, and there was something on the news about gay marriage. That was the hot button issue of the day. Mm-hmm. And I turned to my dad and said, "I don't think gay marriage should be allowed because it's all about Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve." And I remember that he turned away and said nothing. I was looking for praise, and I did not receive it that day.
I would say that would probably do it.
It's a good thing that I came to terms with it myself, because now I've got a gay stepsister, and I was able to attend her marriage recently. It was a very nice ceremony.
That's nice. I do actually remember one instance of when I was in, I want to say when I was in high school, the church that I went to,
I got nothing against that, by the way.
Was kicked out because it turned out he had embezzled all.
Not really much for me to say about this. Yeah, I don't really care about gay marriage. Not really. And Daniel Tosh has a really good joke about it. But I'm not going to repeat it, but it's really funny about gay marriage. I mean, I can't say it because people are going to get pissed off. And it's Pride Month, guys. It's a good joke. It's funny. But I don't have a problem with gay marriage. I mean, if the state's allowing marriage, it's the state. It's not the church. So,
A lot of money.
I don't think that's what
yes.
marriage should be
from the
anyway.
church.
You got to see that on a personal level then.
We'd be sitting there, and the collection plate would go around, and my dad would always put money in the collection plate. And I remember several times seeing like the checks that he would put in the collection plate, and just being like, "That's a lot of money. I could buy some nice shoes, or
Wouldn't have to keep wearing tissue boxes, Dad.
wouldn't have to keep wearing socks that got holes in them, or anything like that. But no, that's fine. And then when I found out that the pastor had been
taking the money for himself,
I was very, very annoyed.
The process is gradual, and I think getting fed up with organized religion is one of the steps that leads to getting disenfranchised with religion entirely.
You know what's a really good way to become an atheist? Read the entire Bible.
Yeah. Did you do that?
That's another one of those. That's an old one. I agree with them. But then eventually, I came back to it. But yeah, I mean, if you read the Old Testament, which isn't really, I don't think should be a part of the. Anyway, but I have my views.
Well, yeah, we had to study it.
Were there any passages that you studied that made you angry about the religion? And
like the whole thing about the Book of Judges, where it's like, if a lizard should crawl on a jug of water, dispose of the jug of water in the field,
pretty sure it's Old
and then
Testament.
break the jug into a million
Which I don't
pieces.
agree with.
Why? I realized that was for cleanliness issues back then, but I'm not super worried. I have a pet lizard at my house.
What's your name of the lizard?
And I don't actually have a lizard. It's to bring it up as an
example. Oh, I thought maybe you had a lizard named Lizard.
Oh, well, then you're a dirty liar.
Please let this be a normal school trip
with the Frizz.
No way!
Cruising on down Main Street.
Okay, anyway. I can't actually think of another one that was another one of those little incidents where it was in high school in biology class. We were going through biology and we were on the part of the topic of evolution. I don't know if our school specifically was real big on the creationism train.
Yeah. It definitely was.
Well, the reason I say that is because
the
teacher I had for biology, and I will never forget this exact wording that he said.
My computer just did something.
We're not supposed to talk about this, but you need to remember to think for yourself and actually do research on things.
Okay, that was weird.
And then he moved on.
Sorry, my computer just buzzed out for a second.
To the next topic.
Hold on. Oh, no. It's divine intervention. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm not even sure I'm going to release this one just because it could upset a lot of people, but we'll see.
At that moment, I could actually tell that he was not happy about not teaching this.
It's a Christian school. You got to teach creationism.
Learn to think for yourselves. Do some research.
I think we were in a lot of classes, and I either didn't hear that or it didn't register with me.
I don't think we were in biology class together. We were in physics class together.
But I also remember a lot of creationism, and it was only when I got to a public college that I was given a normal science textbook. And in the first week that I got the biology textbook, there was a chapter on evolution, and I was curious. So, in my spare time, I opened it and read my biology textbook casually. And it was like I was a 5-year-old who just found out about dinosaurs for the first time. My mind was blown. There was so much cool stuff in that chapter. You tell me there's a nerve that goes from a giraffe's eyeball, goes all the way down to its shoulder blade, and goes back up to its brain? Evolution, you're stupid. Why you do that?
Why would you do that, evolution? It was the most efficient... You're stupid!
Evolution, why you dumb? It inspired me to keep on learning more and more things, and I was amazed at the sheer absurdity of it. Evolution is very imperfect. It doesn't know how to make things good. All it knows how to do is make bad things less bad.
Hi, my name's Mr. Evolution. There's an island off the coast of Italy. We made elephants real tiny.
Tiny elephants.
Yeah, they're about the size of like a golden retriever or something.
Dude,
how cute is that? An elephant the size of a golden retriever. I would totally give him a little backpack and have care of my books.
Oh, can you imagine a child riding him into battle like Siam?
He's so cute. I'd give him a little war armor. Go forth, little elephant.
It was a world of mystery that had been opened to me. Did you know that chimpanzees have 48 chromosomes and humans have 46? No, I did not know that.
Oh, well,
tell me, where's our missing pair of chromosomes? It is.
Man, that must have been a super religious school then. Yeah, it's scientifically proven. I don't know. I didn't go to any. I went to public school, so
which ones? The second and third ones. Amazing! How do you know? Inactive telomeres. Oh my God! Just a giant nerd.
Oh my God. One of my favorite books was the book The Hot Zone It's a retelling of a true story of how there were a whole warehouse filled with monkeys that were affected with the Ebola virus in like Virginia.
Sweet.
And it almost turned into a massive outbreak. Anyway, that was like one of my favorite books when I was in like junior high school, and the book The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. So it's like, and both of those books talk about how viruses will mutate and evolve. So when the whole creationist thing was like being pushed on me, I was like, yeah, but viruses evolve. Why couldn't people? You brought up the Catholic religion, and I find it really interesting that the Catholic religion has actually become open to a lot of things. They've embraced the concept of religion.
Science.
They embraced that a long time ago.
You know, they took a strong right turn there.
Yeah, I think the Catholic Church has one of the most powerful telescopes in the world, something like that. Yeah, but they've always had a pretty close tie to science. Yeah, the religious persecution of scientists wasn't that, well, it was Galileo, but yeah, that was one part of the world. Yeah, but people all over the world knew that the world wasn't the center of the universe, the center of the solar system for a while. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Look, I don't want to get into it.
They just latched on to the concept. No,
Right out of left field.
the Catholic Church has embraced the concept of evolution. The Pope recently has said, he was like, everybody gets into heaven.
That's not
If you
true.
subscribe to the Christian religion or not, everybody gets into heaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because Jesus died for everyone's sins. God loves your child no matter what.
Yeah.
So you should too.
Us
Stop
Pope's
trying
kind
to
of
change
hippie,
that.
though, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is really
If you
interesting.
don't believe in it, why would
No,
you
they gotta do
care?
is just stop protecting child molesters.
Yeah, that didn't really affect us because we weren't Catholic, but I'm sure if we had been raised Catholic and we saw all the pedophilia going on and all the defense of pedophilia going on, that probably would have turned us off. But nope, we weren't Catholic.
No.
We're definitely not going to convert with that going on.
Also, the concept of transubstantiation is weird to me.
Oh, someone studied up for this.
Yeah. That always really bothered me. And I had some friends while I was in the military who were very strict Catholics. And
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff about the Catholic religion, they were...
Yeah, I wasn't Catholic, but one of my friends, when I was stationed in Greece, he was Catholic, and I think it was either a Saturday or Sunday. It might have been Saturday, but he wanted to go to this old traditional like Greek Catholic church for Easter Sunday. It was Sunday. It was Easter. Easter Sunday. I thought it was pretty cool. I got to see some of the architecture and old architecture. It's pretty cool. I recommend it.
Yes, no, this is true. You're only supposed to eat fish on Fridays, yada, yada, yada. And I would bring up transubstantiation, and they would go, I don't want to talk about that.
By the time I joined
Well, you're
the
not talking to the
military,
right Catholics,
I
then.
had fallen away
No
from
offense.
Christianity as a whole, but I wasn't ready to embrace atheism yet. So
Didn't you have, like, humanist on your dog tags or something?
nope.
Funny, on my sorry to keep pausing it, but on my dog tag I had Sith Lord, and my other friend had Jedi Master. Yeah, it was like, we don't care, whatever. It's a dog tag, and you could find the person on the quarterdeck can make you a dog tag. So we're just like, hey, can you make one Sith? You know, okay, thanks.
I had
And we're dorks.
deist, which is deist but misspelled.
Oh.
Deist.
Whoopsie poops! I've never been a deist before. I didn't know how to spell it.
I tried to get Viking on my dog tags when I was.
I don't think that's
I
a.
went to Iraq, and they were like, "No, you can't."
No,
do that.
that's-
And I realized afterwards that I should have said Nordic. Or,
Well, even then, that's just a
I should have
race.
said Norse. But they were
That's
like,
just
no.
That's not even a religion.
What's your religion? Ninja.
Yeah! Well, they let you put Jedi.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I think maybe the last time I felt a religious presence in my soul was in boot camp, because after they've been beating you down day after day,
Sunday's the only day you can get away.
They take a break, and
Yep.
you're required to go.
Well,
to
you're not
a
required
Sunday
to.
service.
When I was in the Navy, you weren't required to. You could just sit in the barracks all day, writing letters or, doing whatever. It's not fun, but yeah. So I went to Sunday service a couple of times. Yeah, just to get away. You just want to I want to get out of the barracks.
so you go to church.
They made you go to a Sunday service?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
You
weird.
were not allowed to not go to a Sunday service. You can go to the Buddhist one if you want, but
Yeah, there was a
you're not
Buddhist
sitting
one
around
too,
here.
which
Get
I
out
did.
here.
I went to that
Go.
one too.
Oh.
And I went to the church, and we were all holding hands and singing and crying because, oh, the grace of God, this is so great. I'm so happy to be alive. And that was it. That's the last time I ever felt anything.
I think it was Stockholm Syndrome
You-
going away.
Yes, it probably was.
Yeah.
I was just happy to have some sanctuary from the drill
Yeah,
instructors.
it's a good way to get away.
They can't yell at me here. Oh, God, yay.
They didn't make us go to a church service, but if you went to a church service, you didn't have to stay in the
Yeah.
barracks. And if you stayed in the barracks, you had to be doing something.
Yeah.
I guess this is probably one of the pro-religion points. I went to the church service, and the guy that was leading it, when we showed up there, he said, as long as you're being respectful, you can do whatever you want. If you fall asleep, I'm not going to yell at you.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Because if God's going to talk to you, he's going to talk to you while you're asleep or awake. It doesn't really matter.
A church that goes, well, if you fall asleep here, it must have been what God wanted.
Yeah. God must have wanted it, so it's okay. I'm just in the church with a bottle of whiskey. No, God wanted this. It's all right. He put $5 in my wallet to buy his handle, old granddad.
Where'd you get that hamburger?
$5. Where you buying your booze, man?
I remember one of the Bible study classes I took. If you didn't know the answer to the question, the answer was always, because God wills it.
Yeah, well,
Oh, good time. Talking about religion.
Talking about
talking about
religion.
that
We put the
old-timey
fun
religion.
back in fundamentalism.
Damn it, I was about to say it. Ah!
Okay. Yeah, that was pretty good. Touchy subjects in there, you know. Yeah, some of my views could be seen as uncouth or, you know, different, not accepted beliefs. So I don't, you know, I don't want to get into it. Yeah, so that was fun. All right, so thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. And if you got any comments, if you want to suggest anything, go ahead and do that down there. It doesn't have to be related to this. It could be something, or Hololive, which I've been doing a lot of. I've been weaving it up real good. So yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm very. I'm not very. I keep saying very sick. I feel very sick. My head is. I'm all congested and I'm sore throat and coughing like crazy. So thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And yeah, have a good weekend. Bye.